Hi and welcome along to Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Let's get straight into it. Alexis Sanchez, once again, more news again today, this time coming from the independent newspaper that claimed that he may be willing to take a pay cut in order to join Manchester City. I've sort of said this on the show before that, Arsenal are willing to pay him a king's ransom at the moment, £300,000 to £350,000 a week. We can see with the spending that Manchester City have been doing, even though we know they've got unlimited funds, that, they're going to start running into problems with the amount of money that they can pay out. And maybe they may not be willing to match those sort of wages for Alexis Sanchez, but Independent claiming that he may be willing to take a pay cut so that he can get his dream move to Manchester City. Now, if you read the article by the Independent, it's all based purely on speculation. There's no, quotes, there's no anything in that article. So I think, I can safely say that it's a journalist putting a story out there that will hopefully get people to look at the article. But we know everything is still up in the air with Alexis Sanchez until he signs on the dotted line and we see a new contract being signed. Now, there was also reports yesterday that Paris Saint-Germain were willing, and I know a lot of people suggested this on the show yesterday, but the reports were, and again, no basis to this, but just speculation, that they were willing to give Arsenal money plus Lucas Moura or Blaise Matuidi to get the deal done. Now, again, as I said, it's pure speculation. You've heard what Arsene Wenger's thought about the whole thing. He's come out and said that, listen, it's all made up stuff. We don't believe it. We haven't had no contact yet from Paris Saint-Germain and we're keeping Alexis. However, as I said on the show yesterday, and I gave you examples of it with Adebayor, with Fabregas, Nasri, Van Persie, even Thierry Henry, he's said with all of those players in the past that they're definitely going to be staying at their club and they ended up moving on. So until it's all cleared up, Alexis Sanchez himself said he was going to tell people what he's going to do after the Confederations Cup. That's a couple of weeks ago. We still don't know what's happening. It's just a whole mess at the moment. Arsenal being linked today with Karim Benzema. Now, I remember a couple of seasons ago when I was doing Transfer Daily, every single day it was Benzema. He ended up staying at Real Madrid. But reports out today saying that Real Madrid are open to selling Benzema because they want to get Kylian Mbappe. So they're open to selling Benzema. So once again, all the papers linking him with a move to Arsenal. I can't see that. Arsenal have already gone. They've bought Lacazette. They've got Giroud there. It's just not going to happen. Benzema's not going to happen, but it makes a nice story. What about Lucas Perez? Now, it looks like he's definitely 100% on his way out of the club. Speaking to Arsenal officials over there in China the other day, they said that, listen, they're definitely going to be moving out a load of players. They need to get rid of a lot of players at Arsenal. Lucas Perez is one of the high priorities for them to move out of the club. They bought him last year, 60 million. It hasn't worked out for him. And he's pretty scathing of Arsenal yesterday. Here were some of these quotes. He said, this season is clearly going to be the same. I want to fight to go to the national team. I want to play football, he says. He says, I cannot continue in this way. I've given everything, but that has not been reciprocated, so I can't stand it any longer. And he says in February, I wasn't allowed to go to China with the promise I would play more. And after that, I had even less opportunities. So he's a very unhappy player there. You've got to say, he just didn't get a game at Arsenal, And it was quite a surprise to everybody because when he was playing, he looked all right. He looked quite decent. But he just never got a chance at Arsenal. Arsene Wenger obviously didn't fancy him. And look, he's suggesting there that he had a chance to go to China. And that was turned down because Arsenal promised him more game time and he didn't get it. He's definitely on the way out of the door. And he's apparently really upset that Arsenal, apparently he said he feels cheated at the fact that they've gone out there and bought Lacazette and given him the number 9. It's very bitter at the moment from Lucas Perez. I do feel a bit sorry for him, but this is what happens when you're at a big club. There's no guarantees that you're going to get that starting berth. And I think you see here why some footballers say to themselves, well, every fan and that out there saying that we need to be loyal. But when clubs don't want us, they just get rid of us. And you can see that with Lucas Perez. So if you're a footballer and you're looking at that, don't you think to yourself, well, why am I going to be loyal? Because if I'm not performing, if the manager doesn't fancy me, they get rid of me. Simple as. So if a great offer comes in from another club that money-wise I'll get more money, I've got a chance of playing in the Champions League and things like that, I'm going to do what's best for me because the club does what's best for them. And somewhere in the middle, the people who are affected the most are the fans, who don't have any say in it. But that's modern day football. That really is modern day football broken down. Mohamed El Nene's been linked with a move away. He's Galatasaray apparently really interested in signing Mohamed El Nene, although Arsenal said he's not for sale, but Galatasaray seem to think that they have a chance of signing El Nene. And also another Turkish club at the moment, Antalyaspor, they're interested in signing Jack Wilshere. They've even made it public that they've made contact with Arsenal regarding Wilshere, but they're saying that it'd be a very hard deal to pull off. What's going to happen with Jack Wilshere? He's injured at the moment. He's trying to get back to fitness, but will he still be an Arsenal player come the end of the transfer window? At the moment, it's really looking unlikely. Of course, as well, only 1 year left on his contract, so he's looking for a bigger deal. Lots to sort out at Arsenal still, and I really want to see Arsenal now getting another transfer done. You know, I mean, we got a good start with Lacazette, but everything seems to have gone quiet again. And you're looking at all of our competitors around there. Manchester City, every day they seem to be signing players. Manchester United have been signing a load of players. Chelsea have been, you know, getting really, really deep down in the transfer business, signing lots of players. Everton, we've signed Lacazette, Kolasinac on a free, and then now we've just gone quiet again and we stopped. It's starting to, you know, I'm getting a bit of a funny, that kind of bad feeling starting to creep back in again because I'm like, great start, but the momentum's dropped off. Arsenal, get back to business. Thanks for watching the show today, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Subscribe to ArsenalFanTV.